All right. I am live. I am by myself in the room. Rhonda's trying to get in. I'm going to play the intro. You guys just hang tight. She's goofing off. She's always goofing off. You know how it is when she's late. All right. So, yeah, exactly, Kate. She's trying to make trouble. I'm going to start the intro while she does whatever it is that she's got to be doing. She's on location somewhere. So, here we go. Beep, 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 beep. My, oh my, what a week. I think I'm still by myself in here. Guys are crazy. So anyway, so while Rhonda is doing whatever it is that she's doing, trying to get a good connection, first I want to say I miss you guys. Totally missed you guys. This time last week, we were in an Uber car trying to get ourselves back from Miami. So as you guys know, we were at 2 conferences back to back. We went to the Suzanne Evans Be the Change event, which was the hashtag woo-woo event for coaches, consultants, and those kinds of folks. And then we went to Miami to the influencer conference, which was most awesome. It was hosted by the CEB. It's called the Corporate Executive Board, and they're like a membership organization, and they do a lot of research with small businesses, and their membership is really a lot of enterprise organizations, right? So I'm getting pretty lonely. So while Rhonda's doing whatever it is that she's doing, I'm going to see if I can invite some of you all to come into the room. So I'm going to invite Phil, and maybe you and Kate can come inside, because honestly, I'm really just not even close to being fun by myself. So if you guys want to drop in the room, come on in. Let's catch up and see what's been going on. Oh, let's see if you guys even get this little invitation and you can come in. Rhonda went to inside a building to get a better connection. She was outside trying to do it from the pool. It's not working. So much to talk about. I want to know what's been new in your world. What was really fun is that Rhonda and I didn't go to very many of the sessions at Be the Change. Here comes Phil. Hey, dude.
Hey. I'm in the dark. Hope you guys can see me.
I see you, and thank you for being our spontaneous guest while Rhonda is effing around at some kind of pool. She's at a pool. She was in there, and then she froze up, and then whatever, and I'm like looking at my hair. I look like who the hell knows what happened. Anyway, bumming around today. What's new with you, Phil?
Yeah.
Is Kate there? Get her in there.
Yeah. So she's gonna.
Hey, girl.
I ran downstairs from the attic all the way to the basement just for you.
Oh my God. So I thought about getting you guys separately, and then I thought, oh, I don't know, maybe they're like in the same room having lunch. Hey, so now you guys are doing what we did the other day, 2-on-1, which is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Really fun.
2-on-1? Are we going dirty already?
We were dirty all last week. You know what? I mean, honestly, last week we were doing the Periscope, Meerkat, Google Hangout thing, and Rhonda got all hot and bothered because people were telling her to show them different parts of her body.
Different parts?
Like her pinky.
Pinky?
Her
like
earlobe.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, we totally goofed off at the other place, and then the influencer event was pretty dang cool. What have you guys been up to since I saw you last because we were like in transit this time last week. What's going on with Booze Hound?
I'll let you take this.
Okay. People are sick of hearing me talk. They need to hear from you.
Well, we put out our first new version of the weekly house show. So that went out last night. You know, it's something that you can watch whenever. We don't have an event page. It's not a hangout. It's just a weekly show that we're going to have. A lot of it's about creativity and just kind of getting people pumped up to do what they want to do or to get motivated. It's not really a how-to or like, hey, get your ass in gear. It's more about the creative side.
I love that. I love that. You know, Kate, you started this whole creative thing when you were doing your book, and you did some of those really cool videos. And, you know, Phil and I have been in conversation over this Bizapalooza, which I have not officially pulled the trigger on, but I have a whole lot of stuff going on in the background. So one of the things I was thinking about is, and actually this came up at that influencer conference, right? People are sick and tired of the same old, same old. They're tired of webinars. They're tired of all this stuff. It's all about engagement. They're even, Phil, believe it or not, sort of stepping away from email. Like it's not, it doesn't seem, it depends on which circles you're in, as you know. But I would say in the overall big business selling to small business circles, email is out. They're just not into it. They're really into social sharing and engagement and having this really awesome conversation. And they're basically saying how actually a really interesting statistic came out of that said small business owners only listen to other small business owners at a rate of 1.86 times as much. That's almost twice as much.
Wow.
Pretty intense, right? So the whole conversation now is how, and they don't even want to talk about product. It's not about product. It's not about service. It's about, I don't know if pain points is the right word, but really it's about that kind of thing. Oh, she's in the dark now. She's here. I did you in favor of Phil and Kate. Are you on a computer? Can you hear us? What the hell?
I can. Hello.
Hey, Rhonda.
Hey.
Hey, you're backlit. It's like,
I'm so glad that you guys joined. Yeah, I'm having technical difficulties today. It was my bright idea that I was going to play around at the pool, and so I really burned myself.
we can't see you at all. There we go. That's a little bit better.
There we go. Let me get some light.
Turn yourself around.
Yeah, let me get some light going here.
There we go. Much better. Because we can't have them just be looking at me in the bright light.
Yeah, exactly. You were outside, and that was really nice.
I could go outside again. It can happen. But you know what? Well, the weather is kind of weird here. I don't know what's going on with it.
Okay, so it's 90 degrees here. I'm very curious. What's the temperature there for you, Phil and Kate?
Today's a little bit cooler, but we've been in the 80s and sunny, and today is kind of weird too. We did have like a storm move through this morning, and so it's kind of humid and still cloudy out right now. But yeah, we've had some really warm weather.
Yeah, we flirted with 90 yesterday.
Yeah.
Ooh,
wow.
Did 90 flirt back?
Say that again?
Did 90 flirt back with you?
Yeah, it did. It did actually. Yeah.
It gave a big old wink.
Yeah. Yeah. It was kind of hot.
So now you guys have to send us pictures of Phil in a Speedo laying out in the sun and Kate in her smoking hot bikini.
Yeah, those would never see the light of day. Never.
Come on, Kate.
I have no issues with that. I have no issues with the human body as a European, even as mine starts.
Anyway,
Anyway,
appreciate it in all of its form. No one's perfect.
except
That's
for
true.
Right.
exactly. So hey, Rhonda, so what were we going to talk about today?
This is a random hangout. We never know what we're going to talk about, ever. We missed last week. I guess you guys may have noticed or may not have, or you may have been pleasantly relieved that you didn't have to join us last week, but we were traveling, so we were going to try to work it out, but it just didn't work out because we were at the airport and all of that kind of stuff. But we had a blast. Since we saw you guys last, we went on a road trip from Orlando to Miami. So much fun. And
should we tell them that we were in the king size bed again?
Yes, we always end up in the bed together no matter where we go. So now we just let it happen. We're just like, it's just going to happen. We're just going to sleep together every time we travel. So it is what it is.
So speaking of...
So I wanted to know, did you guys learn anything new about each other on this road trip? You know, is there one thing that surprised you about the other person?
Oh, there was a lot that surprised us that we actually can't talk about.
Ooh, okay,
But
now you have to talk about it.
A whole lot. Now, I did tell Ivana, Ivana was telling me that she got her husband on sale. And so I said, you know, my husband got me on sale too because he got a sexy woman, but I came with 3 kids. So I said I was like the open box special at Best Buy.
And then you were on what? Were you on clearance? No. How did you say it? On the clearance rack?
Yeah, I said I had already been taken home, opened up, tampered with, and then taken back.
Turn yourself around, Rhonda. I cannot. You were like in the dark. What are you, in a cave?
No, it's like it's the mystery of it all.
It is. Okay, but just sit on the freaking floor if you have to, but don't have the window at your back.
Okay.
There, that's better. Like, that's good. Just stand there like that.
Okay. I'm sitting on the arm of a chair.
You're
Just so
sitting on
you
the
know.
arm of a chair. Okay, well, great.
Yes. And this is.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
Yeah. I gotta put my shades on now because I'm facing the sun. And my future.
Okay, so did we learn
self,
anything? I have to tell them, and Rhonda, let's tell them the story, and I think I kind of shared it with Phil, but I don't think Kate knows about this. He hasn't heard it from the two of us, married couple.
Right.
Like when, as you guys know, I'm a morning person, so I'm in bed early, I'm up early. So in Miami, I have to be at the conference, I have to be full on. Rhonda, of course, is like having fun, right? So she's like, you know, she's out on the beach at like midnight. You know, she's like working at the bar at like 2 a.m. You know, all this stuff.
Drinking Mai Tais.
Right, so we're taking it easy. And, you know, one of the great things about traveling together is we totally, we're like okay with whatever happens, right? But as you know, I'm a little worried about her. Southern Baptist girl in Miami, it could be a scary thing, right? So I go to my event, and there's like a dinner and a cocktail and blah, blah, blah. So I get home like around, I don't know, 11-ish, something like that. I mean, to the room.
Right.
And I proceed to get my ass into the bed because that's where it belongs at 11 o'clock at night. So I'm out, down for the count, right? I wake up like at 3-something. And I kind of do that married thing, you know, where you like reach over to see if the person's there.
Right.
And I'm like, not there, but I'm asleep, so I just like go right back to sleep again. I don't think about it. I wake up at 5:30, and I'm like, where the F is she? Because now I'm worried. So so I start texting. Hey, where are you?
Please tell me something. Please let me know you're alive. That's what was on my phone when I got up.
So
then I text her back when I get up, which is like around 9, because this is all I see. I see Even has called me like 3 times and texted me, please let me know you're alive. And so I text her, and I'm like, I'm in the bed. And then she texts me back and says, I know, funny story. I was laying in the bed. I didn't feel you over there, so I started calling and texting you. And then when the sun started to come up, I saw you laying there, and I thought, well, what the crap? There she is. So I was missing in a king-size bed. Now, this isn't the funny part. So let me tell you what happened to me as I was coming into the room. So Even it goes up, she goes to bed early. I'm coming in and doing, you know, like the husband coming home late from the bar thing and trying to be really quiet so that I don't wake her up. So I come in and I do my my door key to the door, and I open it. Well, then everything falls out. All my cards fall out. So I bend over to pick them all up, and the door slams back and hits me in the shoulder. So I'm like doing like the silent scream, trying not to wake her up. So then I drop my purse, and I start kicking it across the floor, and I'm coming in. This was like an SNL skit, I kid you not. So then the bathroom is to the left-hand side, so I'm like, I got to pee before I go to bed. So I turn to go into the bathroom and face plant right into the door. My eyes are watering. I just know my nose is bleeding, and I'm wanting to scream the F word, and I'm trying not to wake her up. And I'm like, if even I was to wake up right this moment and see me tattered and my nose is probably bleeding, she's going to be like, oh, my God, did you get mugged? So I go into the bathroom, and it's still dark in there. I'm still trying to find the light, and I'm fumbling around, and then I finally find the toilet, I think, and I sit down right onto the floor. So I get back up, and I'm not even drunk. I'm just a little tipsy. So the next morning, I looked like someone beat me up. I had a huge bruise on my shoulder. My nose was just a little bruised on the end, but I really thought I broke it. But luckily, my nose wasn't bleeding. But it was afterwards, it was hilarious. I was like, this is like some kind of SNL skit or something going on here. So we had a lot of fun. I was like, you know what? You just can't make this shit up.
No.
It just happened.
And then we were driving.
I feel like we're Laverne and Shirley instead of Thelma and Louise.
I think you're a good combination of the two. You're like Thoroughly and I'm trying to put the names together, and
yeah.
I don't know how to put the other name together.
Lurn, I don't know.
Lurn.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. That's what we are. We're more like Laverne and Shirley than Thelma and Louise. We're not that badass.
We were trying to be badass, you know, going from Orlando. Luckily, Rhonda had been there recently, so like last year. So she's like, hey, you going to take the A1A? We went along the beach, and that was fun. And then we played, like, we were cruising the radio stations, and oh my God, she drove me crazy. 2 songs that she, you know, I've had like an entire week of blissful silence, having not heard Take Me to Church and that other one about my legs don't work anymore.
Take me to church, I wish to like a dog.
Phil, she was making me crazy. Oh my God. Non-stop. Everywhere we went, that's all I had to hear.
Yeah, and don't forget, and when your legs don't work like they used to before.
No.
And this was the funniest thing. As soon as we hit Miami Beach, guess what song comes on? If you like pina colada.
That's all video of us, like, singing out loud.
Yeah, I'm going to have to post some of those videos on Google+. I have some on Facebook, but I'm going to put them on Google+ so you guys can see them as well. I did a couple of videos, and even a singing Sexual Healing. That one was really, really good.
That sounds like a keeper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It seemed like the whole thing had this ridiculous semi-sex theme. Oh, tell them about Be the Change and how the sex woman found you.
Oh, yeah, everybody who me had to do with sex. So I said, that's got to be my next chapter. My next chapter is going to be sex. I'm even going to write a book, and I'm going to have people submit their sex stories. And the first series is going to be, this is where it gets interesting. And people will tell interesting sex stories. The second series is going to be, this is where it gets complicated. And we're going to have complicated sex stories. So I think it's going to be a great book, and I will thoroughly enjoy reading all of the stories.
What was that, Phil? Say it again.
I was just wondering, complicated, like getting your foot caught in the swing type of complicated?
It could be like that show. Have you seen the show on the Health Channel called Sex Sent Me to the ER?
No.
Gotta watch it. It's like sexual mishaps that people end up in the emergency room.
Well, there you go. That's doing it right.
Exactly, exactly. That's the kind of sex where you can't look each other in the eye the next morning.
When was the last time you had that kind of sex that you can't look each other?
Oh, it's been a while. I've had it, but it's been a while. Yeah, when you wake up and you're like, I don't know if I even want you making my eggs at this point. And I cannot believe you did that. But those are good nights.
Kate must have a really good story about that because she's got that look on her face like.
No, that's just my normal look.
Yeah, Kate's thinking, oh, that happened this morning.
Wait, am I buttoned up right? Did I get all the buttons?
Too many buttons buttoned.
Too many buttons, right? And so, yeah, so what else did we learn? I don't know what other than the obvious things, that you get at a conference, we didn't really we learned that Disneyland is really a torture chamber for both parents and children.
Yes, it is.
It really, really is. And I told Eva, I think a lot of people do it, and people do this in business as well. It just flows over into their lives. And people, a lot of times, I think, take their kids to Disney because that's what you're supposed to do as a parent. I've never taken my kids to Disney. They've never asked to go. My kids are excited to go to the water park that's 20 minutes down the road. It's not that expensive. I will buy them season passes, and they can go anytime they want to, and it's a fraction of the cost of Disney. By the time you walk that full Disney and go through all of that, you're so tired, you don't really care. And so if my kids don't want to go to Disney, I'm not going to take them to Disney just because it's the right parent thing to do. But I think a lot of them, you could tell that's what it was. The kids are ill, they're screaming, they're crying at the end. They don't even want to go. And these parents are miserable, and they have strollers the size of Priuses trying to put them in elevators. And I'm like, do these kids not walk anymore?
Well, when your legs don't work,
those kids, make them sleep at night. You're in a same hotel room with them. You want them to sleep.
I don't know who looked more unhappy, right? I don't know if the parents looked, and I'm like, and they're walking.
You know what would be a better invention, and I just thought of this, would be adult strollers. And what you do is you let the kids push the adults around in the strollers. That gets them their exercise. Then they're worn out by the end of the day. But then you still have energy to actually take care of their butts and give them a bath when you get back.
And you can have the best stuff in that sippy cup for yourself.
That's right.
Exactly. Adult sippy cups going on. Yeah, that's the best invention. I'm going to have to do that. Double parent strollers.
There you go.
Nice.
I wonder if I can pitch that one on Shark Tank. That's how you get that energy out of those kids. Let them push you around for a little while.
Yeah.
It was hot, 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 hot.
Yeah, it's like miserably hot. If you're going to go to a theme park like that, you want to go like springtime or like early fall where you're not so miserable. You'd have to stay there a couple of weeks to kind of do it in stages. Because I think a lot of them will go for 3 or 4 days and just try to pack it all in at one time, and then that's just miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Miserable. So the other thing that we decided, I think, is that we are going to make our own conference, because I don't think we're going to go to that Be the Change anymore. We're just going to make our own conference with our own friends.
That's all we did anyway. I hung out by the pool most of the time. And then I had people, I was like, on Instagram and Facebook, and this is the power of social media. I was probably in the conference maybe a fourth of the time. The rest of the time, I'm like social media and everything and using the hashtag for the conference, sitting at the pool. And I would have people send me a message, hey, you want to meet and network? I'm like, heck yeah. So I would go and I would meet with them and network. Hey, you want to meet me down by the pool bar? Sure. Let me go down there. I'm sitting like 5 feet away from the pool bar. So,
you are brilliant.
Yeah,
that is the way to work a conference.
Yeah. It is. And I made the best connections because then it was people who really wanted to talk to me. They already knew what I was about. They already knew what I did. I didn't have to go scope them out in high heels and get blisters like Evana did. I sat by the pool. I stay engaged. And I had people messaging me, hey, you want to meet at the pool bar? And it was the best connections. And that's usually how it goes is I found that most of the time the best connections that I make are like after the conference is over and you're like sitting at the pool bar. Or you're in more of a relaxed environment. So, you know, it was people that were coming to me that were saying, hey, I want to, you know, talk to you more. So I made those connections, and I was really happy with the results, and I had a really nice workcation. So you gotta kind of pace yourself, too, especially like one Suzanne Evans event. It's really good, and you learn a lot, but it's like information overload because they go until like 10 o'clock at night. And start at like 8 in the morning. And a lot of people feel like they have to be in for everything. And then by the end, the first day, you're burned out. And then you're not really on when it's networking time. So even before, when me and Evana went, and we went to a lot more of the things, we would take breaks. When we felt like, hey, we need a break, we would have our bathing suits on under our pretty dresses, run out to the pool, start stripping off a dress. People are looking at us like, oh, crap, what are they going to do? We got the bathing suit on. We jump in the pool, have a little pool time, and then go back. And so it was more a balance, and that balance kept us a little more centered. And then you don't seem like you're so desperate to talk to people, or you don't seem like you're so exhausted that you just don't care. Right. So it keeps your energy up. If you kind of pace yourself, you don't have to go to everything. Just like it's the same way with those Disney people, with those Disney parents. You don't have to take your kids to Disney, and they don't have to see everything at Disney. You can pace yourself, and you'd have a lot more fun.
Exactly. But, you know, and I think one thing that happened this time around, it wasn't quite that very first one you and I went to, they had that nice courtyard outside where the sessions were, and, like, everyone was in that one place. Here, the hotel's giant. I mean, that first one was the best one. We just hung outside, talked to people. It was great. This one, people were everywhere. And so I think Rhonda's system of doing the social media stuff worked out really well.
It did. It really did. I got to do what I wanted to do. I made really good connections and did it poolside.
Nice.
Nice. So that was.
That's the way to do it.
It really was, and I didn't feel like, that's a good thing about being an entrepreneur. I don't have a boss telling me where I have to go, when I have to be there, and what all I have to be in, so I can do it my way, and if it doesn't work, that's my own fault.
And you learn something.
Then great. If it doesn't, it's on me.
And you can adjust, you know, real
exactly.
quickly.
So if I see that, hey, I'm not really making connections I need to make, then I get off my pool butt, go in, put on a dress, and go network. But I really didn't have to. I was very satisfied with the way that it worked.
Pool butt is the best spot, by the way.
Do what?
Pool butt is the best spot.
I know, exactly.
Oh yeah, we also
the time where you got the stripes from the chair across your butt. That's sexy. That's like the sexiest thing ever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's when you know you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look like real marks on your ass.
Well, the other thing that was really awesome at this pool is they had, my favorite drink was this like lemonade thing, except that I lost the cup, but they give you this cup and then you just keep getting refills, which was
We had to pay
awesome.
for them. They were $10, but still it was cheaper than buying the whole drink again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
even I went thrifty on the alcohol. Still yet, though, I haven't added up my receipts, but I can guarantee you we spent more money on alcohol than food.
Except for that one place. The $90 thing. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, please don't talk about the salad. Even was so mad about spending money on this salad that she couldn't eat. And that is all I heard for the rest of the evening about how pissed off she was about this freaking salad.
I thought it was a side
ate it
salad.
the next day, and she was like, you know, it's still pretty good, and I'm not even mad about this salad anymore.
You know, I don't mind spending money, but, you know, true to my DIY roots, I don't mind spending money, but my God, do I not like spending money. Wait, how's it go? I hate spending money when I don't get my value out of it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or you feel like it was wasted. So she thought her salad was going to be wasted. But
No, and the other thing is, for all you foodie people out there, I don't know what the hell they're talking about Orlando and great food. I thought the food was mediocre at best and expensive.
yeah, it was. We ended up eating at the pool bar most of the time. And the pool bar food was so good. We didn't want to go to these pretentious restaurants that were giving us like itty-bitty bites of this and that. The pool bar was reasonably priced, very good food, laid-back atmosphere. We could go and eat in our bathing suits. So that was our style, and that's where we went.
Yeah.
You know, I heard that Chicago actually right now has like some of the best restaurants in the country. So we could go to Chicago, and if you guys, we can go see a Cubs game. We can have great pizza and beer and whiskey, and they have all sorts of things there. So
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
that
we should
sounds
do our
good.
first conference in Chicago.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we should do. I love food. I'm a foodie, and I love to try new things and go places. I keep the little diners, drive-ins, and dives app on my phone.
Well,
So
yeah.
it'll let you know when you're on a road trip if you're near a place that was featured on there.
Hmm.
And I love going to places like that and trying new things. I love good food.
Ugh. Except that she can only eat like this much of it. So I feel like a total parent. I get fat because of her, because she's like, I can't eat this. And I'm like,
I know I ordered pizza at like midnight one night, and Even said, oh my gosh, you're making me fat because you order food at midnight. Then you take 2 bites and tell me to eat the rest of it. But I ate pizza the next morning for breakfast. I felt like I was in college. Cold pizza for breakfast. I knew I had a good night.
There
The
you
other
go.
thing, no, I think that we are seriously looking at a location where we could all get together, but we do have one requirement. It has to have a lazy river.
Yeah, Amy said that it has to. I'm talking to Amy about a serious business conference, and I'm telling her all the things that it has, like rock climbing and kayaking and zip lining, and she seriously looks at me and says, I only need to know one thing. Does it have a lazy river? I said I'm not sure, but I would definitely check. So that's a requirement. We have to have a place with a lazy river. So that's what we'll do.
I know.
Okay, so we've taken up everybody's time, but I want to talk to Kate. Kate, I saw that you're on the game show this Friday, right?
I am, yes.
Woo!
Awesome. I have to watch it. We may even have to give Even some Adderall and keep her up late.
You know why I can't? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you a couple of reasons why I don't do the game show. One, it's like it's really too late for me. Two, I don't know if you can see this house, but I'm going to show you. Rhonda has seen it. It's like wide open. Do you see that?
Yeah, I know. The noise carries. But you had a good time when we were on the other week while we were in Orlando. It was a
Awesome
blast.
time. Rhonda and I were winning for the longest time.
It's because we know once you've slept in a bed with someone like multiple times, you kind of get to know them.
What happened with us? How come we couldn't win then?
I know. That's because we're both too stubborn, I guess, or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. There was.
That's what it is. Yeah, we even had one that I said the clue was granny plane, and the answer was stewardess, and she got it right off because we were on a plane together one time, and the stewardess kept telling us to keep it down. We were drinking, and we started calling it the granny plane.
Oh, that's a shocker.
Yeah.
Oh, that you two were.
We're drinking.
I know, we were disturbing the peace.
we
Go
were
figure.
with a couple other people, and we were just laughing and carrying on. And we were at the back of the back of the bus, the back of the
They
plane.
bought us drinks. They should have known better.
It was a Las Vegas flight. I don't know what they expected.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Well, listen, yeah, I would think every Las Vegas flight would be like that.
I know. That's what to expect when you're coming back from Vegas. So anyway, everybody catch Kate on the game show this Friday night, 10 o'clock Eastern.
Woo!
Yeah, so we're saying good vibes, you know,
Yes.
and I'll soak them in, and I'll play very
Yeah, well, I'll
powerfully.
definitely be sending good vibes. I'll be watching and rooting for you and making wonderful comments and funny comments in the audience. So I can't wait. I love it when you guys are on. That's a lot of fun.
Oh,
And then we can tell everybody next week a little bit more about the Bizapalooza that we're going to rock
I know. Are you like really? Everybody's really excited about it. I'm a little like, I'm hanging back on the excitement. But
yeah, you'll get excited once it all starts coming together.
Yeah.
So
I know I have some awesome ideas. Honestly, truly inspired by Mr. Phil Boyer.
yeah,
So,
you told me, so I can't wait to hear what those were. So I knew if we could get Phil on board, then we could really rock it, because he is like the king of rock.
it's going to be a lot of fun. And the other great thing about
Rock, I'm Elvis. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're like Elvis for Google Hangout.
you are, no, seriously, think about record. I mean, hey Phil, can you use, from your show when the people gave you their original music? Can you still use it, or do you have to ask permission again? How does that work?
No, I there's a lot of artists that I work with that I have the rights to their music. I don't own them, but I have them. I can use the music.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Okay,
going
hey, Phil, we have a question, and other people might want to know too, so let's just ask it on air. Okay, so me and Ivana, we were like, one day when we were in Miami, we're sitting outside, and, we're drinking our coffee and waking up, and we're taking turns playing things from our playlist on our iPod.
to.
So what we would do is I would say, like, okay, this song is blah, 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 and this is why I like the song, and this is the meaning of the song, and then we would listen to it. So we were thinking about we might do a little hangout where we do like a playlist, and we could have people submit to saying, what song they like, where they were when they heard it, that kind of thing. We did that too, like riding down the road, and we were listening to 80s music and be like, yeah, I remember slow dancing to this in middle school. And so anyway, so our question is, if we played those songs, would we need the rights to all of them if we were only going to play like portions of it or the chorus of it or whatever? Do you still need to get the rights?
Yes. Yeah, you
Okay.
need to get permission, and you need to pay a royalty to both the copyright holder and the whoever wrote the song, which may or may not be the art. Like for Elvis, right? He didn't write a lot of his stuff, so if you were, let's say, do an Elvis song, you'd have to pay the copyright holder of all the Elvis performance, and then whoever wrote that song.
Okay, so we couldn't really do kind of an on-the-fly kind of thing. We would have to have this planned out, no like songs submitted ahead of time, so we'd know what royalties and permissions we need to get.
That would be expensive too. I mean, it would be ridiculous.
Yeah, it probably would. It's a really good idea in theory, and that's what we were thinking. Really cool. You kind of laid back. Everybody, songs remind you of things, and to me, I love music. Music is a big part of my life, and songs have meaning for me and all of that. But, yeah, I was thinking, it's more fun if you could do it on the fly, but we didn't want to get in trouble either. So we were like, this is a Phil question. That's what we said when we were sitting there. We've got to ask Phil.
What about YouTube? Like, let's say we're on the Google. This is, I mean, honestly, all you people we have to make sure they fast forward to this part, because this is like the best part of the thing. If you are, let's say we're on this Hangout right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I could actually share a YouTube video. What's the deal with that? Like, so if you were to share the music off,
but it's already
there. It's
public,
already
though, right?
Yes, it's already.
See, like with YouTube, how they work it is they have all those songs that you can pick, and then what happens is the copyright holder, let's say Universal Music, they will run ads against your video in order to pay for your license to use that song. So you're still not getting it for free. You're just they've given you a way to use that music and pay for it through advertising.
Okay, so how about this? How about if you sang the song yourself?
Now you're performing it. Now you're performing it, and you still have to then pay the person that wrote it.
Okay.
There's really two.
This is good to know because all of this copyright, royalty, all this stuff around music has gotten really big, like in the last 5-10 years or whatever. Especially with it started with what was that one,
Napster.
Yeah, exactly, Napster. So and they got in a lot of trouble for all that kind of stuff. So it kind of started there where they started putting more regulations on it because now you have the internet and you can share music and all of that. So it's confusing about how you can use music because a lot of people like music. A lot of people use music in their videos and things like that on YouTube. And I think a lot of them don't even know. You know, you have teenagers who are doing like these little things to music and aren't getting the proper royalties and permissions and stuff like that, because it can be confusing, but you don't want to be out of compliance either and get in trouble. I definitely don't want to be sued.
Yeah. Well, here's the important thing to understand too, is that the bands do not own the copyright to their music in most cases. It's the record label that they're signed to, they own. So the band can give you, sure, go ahead, they can say that, but they don't actually have the right to do that. They can't give you permission to use the song unless they own the copyright to it. So any band like U2 or, you know, Mumford & Sons or whatever, any band like that that's signed to a record label, they're not going to own the rights to their song.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
All right.
Awesome. That's very informative. So that's something we needed to know before we got our butts in trouble.
Yeah, copyright's a mess these days, and it's abused, and the record labels and the publishers and all those guys, they've really abused it to the point where it's not, copyright isn't about protecting the right holder for a certain period of time. It's now that's a revenue stream. That's how they make money, because nobody's
right, exactly. And it makes you scared to even use music anywhere, because it is so confusing and you don't know if you're fully in compliance or whatever. Right. So it makes me scared to use music anywhere, even though I want to.
Yeah.
It really does. It really does. And there's all kinds of rules around. You can even, I think there's that education one. You can use like snippets. That's what I was wondering. Like you could use like a little snippet. I don't even know how long that is, how long you're allowed to use. You know, because you can pull like what I do.
You're not allowed to use any.
Not allowed to use any.
You're not allowed to use any. Now here's the thing. Everybody says, well, you know, oh, what's the thing? I've drawn a blank on it now. Where you're allowed to use it, the fair use.
Yes.
People think fair use is part of copyright law, that, oh, I can just use 30 seconds of it and it's okay. Fair use is actually not part of copyright law. It's a defense to use certain things. So if you want to use it in an educational format or whatever, and you get sued, you can use that. It's like, I was using this in a fair use type of thing, so that's a defense.
Okay.
But it's not actually, you can't just, if I only use 30 seconds, I'm okay. No, that's kind of a myth. See,
Yeah,
that we
if you use 1 second of it, you get sued.
I'm so sad. You know, I wanted to play, on my little brainstorming thing, I thought it would be fun to play, one of my web games was going to be Name That Tune.
Yeah.
Can't play that.
You know, it sucks because it's really, it helps get the music out there, and that's what these guys don't understand. You know, by us, like, talking about a 1973 song, you know, that's going to, you know, people might go out and buy that because, hey, you know, yeah, I remember that or whatever, you know, Aerosmith, Walk This Way.
Right, exactly. I know my kids, they'll hear music on my playlist that's like from the 70s or the 80s, and they're like, oh, that's pretty cool. And had they not heard it on my iPod, they wouldn't have downloaded it themselves. So then they go and they download it, whereas they never would have before. So it revives, you know, some of those songs and actually helps them make money. So, yeah, I'm with you. I don't think they realize they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot with some of these regulations that they have on stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really are.
You know, that we should definitely be talking about that when we get more into rocking your business conversations. And
right. Yeah, I'm glad we have Phil on board because he's going to keep us out of trouble, too.
He'll keep us out of trouble.
That's a hard job, Phil, right there. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I want that kind of responsibility.
That's a tall order to fill.
All right, let's let these people go to work, go do whatever it is that they're doing.
Right. Thanks for joining us, Phil and Kate. I love it. That is awesome. It was an awesome surprise that I had glitches and then came and you guys were on.
I got tired of waiting for you. I didn't know what was going to happen, and I'm like,
good. I'm glad. I'll have to be late more often because this was awesome. All right, thanks, guys. We'll let everybody get back to work.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right, bye-bye.
Hey, guys.